Hey, and welcome back. We are now on episode 5 of the Adult Book Chats. I talked to you last week about some of the cozy series that are my favorite cozy series, and I usually try and read all of the books in those series because they're my favorites. It was the Kate Carlisle series, the Alex Erickson series, Lillian Jackson Braun series. I feel like there was another one that was thrown in there. Those are series where I probably started somewhere in the middle and then I realized that I really like them. So I go back to the first one and then I read or listen to them in order. And I really like doing it with those series because I feel like that they're either series where they build on the characters, you add people in like the Jim Quillerin and the Cat Who, you get to know who he is, you get to know his cats, you start getting to know people in the town, and then it builds on that as it goes along, and then he gets a girlfriend, so they build on each other. But that doesn't always work with series for me or with cozies for me. Sometimes I will pick up a cozy and I like it, but maybe I don't love it, or I like it and I think I'm going to continue in the series, but I don't really feel like I have to go back to the beginning. So I went and gathered some of the other cozies that I have where I might just have one in the series, or it may be that I just haven't unpacked more of them. And those are the ones I wanted to talk to you about today. So one of those is Jill Churchill. She won the Agatha Award, so you're going to know that's Agatha Christie for murder mysteries. This is a Midsummer Night's Scream. I talked to you in the last cozy video about how I really like the play on words in cozy mysteries, and they almost always have one. They also often have a cat. I don't have cats. I have dogs. But this is a Jane Jeffrey mystery. I think it probably is more in the middle of the series. And sometimes, again, especially with the cozies, if you open up, you'll see that they'll give you a listing of the series or the books in the series. And this has Jane Jeffrey Mysteries, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 that are already listed. And then there's another cozy mystery series that she does called the Grace and Favor Mysteries. I enjoyed this one. I did read it. I read it one summer. I probably read it in a day and a half. It was a good one to curl up on the back porch and just read. Okay, so that is a Midsummer Night's Scream. And here's a picture of the author. So enjoyed that one. I do read Amanda Flower. I've read more than just this particular one. This is Premeditated Peppermint, an Amish candy shop mystery. I've read more than just this book by her, but I usually listen to these, and that's probably why I don't have more on my shelf. And this one, again, is number 3 in the series. I've also read Criminally Coco by her. I feel like they're a lot shorter. Like this looks like about the right size for a cozy mystery paperback. You can see. I don't know measurements, obviously, but when you're looking, like a lot of the cozy mystery series are this kind of size, and this one looks like, it's heftier. It's about 340 pages. I feel like Criminally Coco was not near that long, but I listened to that. But she has quite a bit. The other 2 that are listed here are Assaulted Caramel and Lethal Licorice. The Amish Candy Shop Mystery, the reason that I really like that, there's an Amish character, but she has gone out of the Amish world to run this candy shop. And you can hear somebody has the squeaker down there. But she is running a candy shop, and again, someone always gets murdered. I think it was this one. It is. This is one that is Christmas themed, and let me see. Christmas is Bailey King's favorite time of the year. For her first Yuletide in Harvest, Ohio, the former Big City chocolatier is recreating a cherished holiday treat. Peppermint combined with molten white chocolate. But her sugar high plummets when her former boyfriend walks in to the candy shop. Now he wants to do a program in their candy shop, and he wants the Amish grandmother to be a part of the show, and obviously they don't like to be on camera. This is not something that is in her culture. And her culture already doesn't tolerate her very much because she didn't follow the rules. So there's a TV crew, and then when the TV crew comes to town, somebody dies. So a good one. It's a fun one. It's Christmas themed also. If you can see that cover there, they're having a little in the town square. They have all of the shops in the town come in and do something, and it's all supposed to be themed on peppermint. So that was a fun book, and I've read 2 in that particular series, but not necessarily in order. It's an easy one to listen to. It's not very complicated. I don't feel like I have to remember a lot about the characters. I do really like this. This is Charlene Harris. You'll know her from Vampire Diaries. She wrote those. This is Dead Until Dark, and it is the first Sookie Stackhouse novel, which turned into the Vampire Diaries. They are very different than what you see on the Vampire Diaries movies on television. I believe they started on HBO, if I'm not mistaken, long time ago. I don't even know if it's going to... It should, yeah. So this was published in 2001. So good Lord, it's been 20 years. I find it really hard to believe it's been 20 years. But they've been around a long time. So it may be something that you're like, I don't even know what you're talking about. But it was really big when it hit HBO. And I'm going to guess maybe the books came out in 2001, but the movies probably didn't come out until like maybe 2010. And I'm saying movies. It wasn't movies. It was a TV series, and I believe on HBO. Would be super easy to find now. I'm not really sure where they are out there. I think I maybe watched a couple episodes of the movies, but I really like the books. And this is the first one in that series, and it is called Dead Until Dark. Again, you're talking about a vampire series, but fun. A deliciously fiendish, increasingly riotous series by the Dallas Morning News, and I would totally agree with that. Another really good way to tell if you're going to like these is that front flap. That's where it's going to tell you a little bit more about the story, and you can kind of get the flavor if it's going to be all murder mystery, if it's going to be like dark vampires, like Twilight's dark and depressing. These really aren't. They're not. They're more racy romantic. And racy romantic they're also, vampires, so people have to die. So those are fun. I don't know if I would call that one a cozy mystery, but we're going to leave it in that stack anyway. Really enjoyed this one. A friend gave me this and a stack of books that I think that they may have given to the library and said, I don't know what else is in there, but you can see it's called Grin and Bear It. A Bear Ate My Ex, and That's Okay. It's by Leslie LaFoy. It was just fun. The main character, she works in the National Forest in Montana. I'm trying to think. I feel like it's her job. Like that she's a forest worker or whatever those people are called, like a park ranger or something. And they come to tell her that her husband is dead. And she's like, oh, so there's that. But then he was actually eaten by a bear, and it's like where she's at. And so they're very suspicious that she really had nothing to do with this. So she has to help in finding out how this happened. So question, how am I, a smart, confident, and did I mention innocent woman, supposed to react when smack dab in the middle of my messy divorce, the single-engine plane of my soon-to-be ex-husband crashes in the mountains of Montana's Bitterroot National Forest, and I become the prime suspect in his disappearance? Did I also forget to mention that there was no body? There is a strong possibility it has been dragged away by bears. Yes, bears. Answer, Grin and Bear It. Like I've done most of my adult life, only now I've decided I'm going to be the one asking the important questions and not taking any answers at face value. It's fun. It's funny. It's light. I know she says no body, so that is part of usually that cozy series is that you don't see blood and gore. You would never know. They're never going to give you details of him being eaten by the bear. But it was fun, and it is not a series. Up here it says the next novel, and I don't know why it says that. But it's just fun. It's a fun, cozy mystery. Well Off in Vermont by Amy Patricia Mead. This is more like one of those cozy mysteries that I've picked up somewhere because it looks, again, has a cute title. I like the cover. But it's by Midnight Ink. So it's probably more of an independent press or a small press. I don't think there's a whole lot. I do like that sometimes it'll do this on the back where it gives you the genre on there. And it does say that it's a new series by her. It does take place in Vermont, but they are people who are like, we're living in Manhattan, and they've gone to Vermont because they want to try that Vermont lifestyle out. They're going to try and live off the land and start growing their own food, and they have absolutely no idea what they're doing. Or they, buy a bed and breakfast, and they try and run it on their own thinking, this has got to be easy, right? And of course, it's not easy. But in the bucolic small town Vermont, tapestries expert Stella Thornton Buckley feels out of her element, and not just because she's fresh from Manhattan. Mere hours after moving to the maple syrup country, she and her husband Nick find a dead man, Alan Weston, in a well on their property. The police investigation forces the couple out of their lovely vintage farmhouse, and since the motels are packed with leaf peepers, into a less than luxurious deer camp. Instead of mourning the loss of electricity and running water, Stella and Nick drive their smart car all over Vermont to question the quirky locals about Weston, a shrewd businessman who rubbed a lot of folks in the wrong way. So it's just fun, again, light. It does say it's a series. I probably won't continue with the series, but it was a good read. It was just a good read. Mentioning Goodreads, all of these you can find the reviews on Goodreads. I'm there under Dashannon, Dashannon. I will link that in the notes on the video, but I review all the books that I read on Goodreads, and then I usually push them over onto my Facebook page so you can see the reviews there too. Jen McKinley is another one that I've read probably several of her books, but I've probably listened to more than I've read. This is one that I did have a hardback copy. It is in A Library Lovers. This is the name of the series down here. A Library Lovers mystery. It's called A Likely Story. I don't know how I could go wrong if you're looking at that cover. It's in a library. There's a dog. It has a play on words. There's my cozy mysteries for you there. And there is also a short story that's included in here. I'm sure that I probably picked it up because on the front cover, my favorite cozy author, Kate Carlisle, puts a review on there, a fast-moving, tricky tale that kept me guessing at every turn, a must-read. And Jen McKinley is a well-known cozy mystery author. Again, you can read some on the inside flap there. This is the first one in the series, if I'm not mistaken. No, it isn't. Sorry, it is not. The first one in the Library Lovers Mystery Series was Books Can Be Deceiving. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there are 6 in that series. Do or Die, Book, Line, and Sinker, Read It and Weep, On Borrowed Time, and A Likely Story. So great plays on words. It is another one that I do need to go back and do the rest of that series. She also has a Cupcake Bakery Mystery Series. I don't think I've read any of those. And then a Hat Shop Mystery Series, and I know I haven't read any of those either. So again, good cozy mystery series. Yolanda, if you're listening, we were talking about some that you might want to listen to, but I think you've already listened to some of hers too. So I'll put that aside and mention that to you later. The next one, here it is. So C.A. Newsome. This is Muddy Mouth. It is a dog park mystery. She's another author that I found through Books by the Banks, the Cincinnati Free Book Festival. It's in the fall. I'll link it down in the notes. But I love this book festival, and she is a chatty author. I loved going to her table every year and picking up the new installment. And in one of the other videos that I was talking about her, I know that what I was saying was she is that author that when I went to her the first time and I started to pick up that first book, and she said, no, don't start there. Start here. I'm going to rewrite those because that's when I first started writing. And I thought that was just so honest, and I really appreciated the honesty. And I love this book series. This is another one that I went back and started with the first one eventually, and I've either listened or read them. And they're affordable. The ones that I have are paperback. They probably only come in paperback. I'm looking to see. I think they only come in paperback. You can get them online. She has a good online presence. C.A. Newsome. Again, I'll link her website in the bottom. You can sign up for her email newsletter. But I should have done hers with in my favorites, but this was the only one there, so I didn't have like a stack to see it. But I did talk about this one. This is one of my favorite cozy book series. And it's a dog park mystery because it does take place in a dog park in Cincinnati. For the life of me, why can't I think? I want to say Alt Park, and I don't think that's right. But this particular one takes place in Northside. Northside has a famous 4th of July parade that they do. And thank you. And there's a murder that takes place at the 4th of July parade. They're in one of the other books, the murder does take place, I believe, at the dog park, or they'll have reoccurring characters, and then some of the characters get tied up in some of the murders. I like that it's local. I like that it talks about local places, local people, local personalities, and then, of course, everybody has a dog. All the characters have dogs. That's how they know each other, is by the local dog park. Highly, highly recommend this series, and should have put that on my favorites. And Maggie Sefton, in addition to coffee and tea, I like knitting and yarn and fiber arts. And this one is called Yarn Over Murder. It has delicious recipes and a knitting pattern included. It's a knitting mystery. I'm trying to think again if this is the first. This is number 12 in the series. I did talk to you about the fact that a lot of cozy mystery series, it's not unusual for them to have 10 or 20 or more books in their series. And then a lot of the cozy mystery authors have more than just one series going on. But this particular one, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then, yeah, this is the 12th one, and I think it goes on beyond that. I have not read probably more than this one that I can remember, and it was okay. I liked it. I think that I probably have more buy-in in some of the other series cozy mysteries that I read, and this one was a little slow for me. Again, you can read my Goodreads review. I do like that it was the knitting, and they were talking about the community that is built around, what is that called? It's not a farmer's market, but it's kind of like a local arts market, and it's the community that was built around them. And I can't remember if this is the one. Yeah, this is the one where it does talk about a wildfire, which I thought was super interesting. Kelly and her knitting pals were checking out the wares at the annual wool market, one of the largest outdoor fiber and animal fairs in Colorado. Colorado is the setting, and it is very important in the story. The whole setting is that there are wildfires raging across the canyon ranches, and all the ranchers have to work together to try and save the animals, the arts, the things that are around there, the people that live there. They're all going to have to work together to do that. And unfortunately, there's been a murder in the middle of all this, so people do not trust each other. So again, I'd say if you continued the series, they would probably build on this story, but I felt like it was a little bit slow. So and last one, I really enjoy this too, Truly Madly by Heather Weber. I have a bookmark here because I picked it up. I'm pretty sure she was at Books by the Banks one year too. If it wasn't Books by the Banks, then I may have picked this up at another book fair. Truly Madly, Deeply Desperately, Absolutely Positively. That is her series here. So you've got that there. I know that my lighting, I was trying to get good natural light, but it's giving me a lot of a glare. But I enjoyed this series too. It's been a long time. This was published in 2010. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the first one in the series. But it's a Lucy Valentine novel. Lucy Valentine is smart as can be. She's single as she can get and not so qualified to run a matchmaking service. But when her parents temporarily step down from the family business, Valentine Incorporated, it's Lucy's turn to step up and help out in the name of love, plus her rent's due. So here's the problem. Lucy doesn't have a knack for matchmaking. It's not in her. The family business does not extend to her. According to family legend, every Valentine has been blessed by Cupid with the ability to read auras and pair up perfect couples, but not Lucy. Her skills were zapped away years ago in an electrical surge, and now all she can do is find lost objects. What good is that in the matchmaking world? You'd be surprised. In a city like Boston, everyone's looking for something. So when Lucy locates a missing wedding ring on a dead body, she asks the sexy private eye who lives upstairs to help her solve the perfect crime. And who knows? Maybe she'll find the perfect love while she's at it. That's a cozy mystery. I know while I was reading it, you're like, I thought we were talking about mysteries here, and that sounds like you're going to talk about romance. But it's more of a romantic mystery, but cozy mystery nonetheless. I really enjoyed this one, and we'll continue with the series on this one too. I feel like I might have read one of those others, but I haven't unpacked those books yet. So there's some more cozies for your to-be-read list. And again, go to your public library. If you have a public library card number already, you can plug that in and get, I would say, any of these books, either on ebooks or on audiobooks pretty easily. Your waiting list on the ones that I'm talking about are probably going to be pretty short. Well, thank you, Stella. She agrees. Are probably going to be pretty short because most of the books that I've talked about today have been older. And if you do not already have a library card right now, they're making it super easy. You can apply for one. They're either electronic books or audiobooks. You don't have to have a Kindle. You can download the Libby app or the Overdrive app on your phone. You can read it or listen to it on your phone, on your laptop, on your Kindle or your tablet if you have one. So I enjoy listening to my cozy mysteries. I did just finish French Pressed, which I think I talked to you about finishing that in one of the previous videos. And that was Cleo Coyle. I enjoyed that one. The one that I'm listening to now, let me find it real quick because I'm really liking it. Again, my phone, I just go to my Libby app and it's right there. It's called Lending Paul. God, sun is just really glaring. It's called Lindy Nepal. It's by Laurie Cass. I'm enjoying it. I was trying to clean up my craft room yesterday. So again, I've talked to you about the fact that I like to listen to cozies when I'm doing something like that, because you can walk in and out of the room. It's not like if you miss one thing, you're going to, lose the story. I think it's pretty easy to listen to. Also, when I'm listening to these, what am I? I'm 4 hours in and I have 4 hours to go. I know 8 hours might seem like it's a long time to be listening to something, and it probably would if I started it and ended it all in one day. But I just turn it on when I'm in there. When I was doing laundry, I turned it on, carried the phone upstairs, so I listened to it when I was doing that. When I was cooking, I just carried it in the kitchen and hit play and then listen to it whenever I'm cooking. And it's easy to get through one of those audiobooks like that. And again, it's very entertaining. Right now, when we are all sheltering at home, you're probably getting tired of the TV always being on, or just that you're inside those walls so much. And it gives something to entertain you as the day goes along. And today it's been really dreary outside, which is why I am filming inside. Not crazy about that. The lighting is weird. But again, listening to some of those cozy mysteries, they're just entertaining. So I hope you've enjoyed these. Please hit the like button, subscribe. Tell me what you're reading. I love all the feedback. I'm going to do another video with some of the other things that I'm going to catch you up on, some of the videos, things that have come up in past videos that I wanted to revisit or be able to provide links to you. I did go back and I updated all of the previous videos. I updated their titles. I put some links in there. I tried to link you to things that I had mentioned in those videos, but then I also saw a couple of things that I had questions about. So I am going to do another one of those videos a little bit later. But let me know what you're reading. I'm enjoying getting your texts, your emails, your comments on what it is that you're reading, what advice you've taken, which recommendations you've taken, and if you like them or not. And two that I've gotten really good feedback on is The Female of the Species, which I recommended to you, The Mysterious Affair at Styles, which was an Agatha Christie, and I said too, and there was one more from, The Innocent Man, the John Grisham Innocent Man. I've gotten really good feedback from people who have taken the recommendations on those, and I feel like a couple more. So again, I'll include those in the next video, but let me know what you think. I'm happy to be your librarian. Let me know if you're looking for something specific that I can find you some recommendations for, and see you next time.